Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. First and foremost, as always, just want to say a big thank you to all the channel supporters, everybody who's commented on the videos, anybody who's liked and subscribed to the videos. Very much appreciated as always. If you're new to the channel, please check out some of them old videos. We're starting to get into a bit more of a flow with things after a bit of a slow start. But yeah, and if you are watching the videos and haven't subscribed, please do so. It does help us out, help the channel out immensely, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, if you are watching these videos and you like the content, please do press that subscribe button. We're almost at 400 subscribers, and we do want to push this channel along. So any support you can give, it'll be greatly appreciated. Back to this kit. This is the same kit we're going to unbox as we built in the first ever restoration video. I bought one of these probably 6-7 years ago as a complete glue bomb. When I say complete glue bomb, the kit was absolutely incomplete, so that didn't help. So we were missing a lot of parts, and we just had to make do with what we could cobble together. I've been looking for parts for one for all that time I'd owned the glue bomb, and it just never happened. So we just cobbled together what we could, and I think we made quite a nice model out of it. There's a few flaws. Like I said in that restoration video, the chrome foil I used was probably about 5 years old and extremely deteriorated, so that didn't go on as well as I would have liked it to. But despite its flaws, it came out nice, and we managed to build a nice model with the little parts we had. This was out of that auction haul. It's Thursday the 23rd, I think I'm filming this video, and there's just been another auction. I think there was 25 lots of four models, and there just wasn't anything that really interested in me, and the prices. I think they're all they're, like I say, lots of 4 models, and there was just nothing really out of the ordinary to me to actually include myself in that. Like I say, the prices were ranging from 65 to I think 95 on these kits, and there was nothing this old or anything in there. And when the hammer price is between 60 and 65 and 95 pound, you still got your 20% on top of that. Sounded like the card number who won most of those 25 lots, pretty much got them all. So when you're putting down 2,500 quid on a bunch of models, and that's a lot of money, and there wasn't, like I say, nothing of interest to me, and there's nothing I could really resell at I think you'd probably make a couple of quid here and there, but for me they were just a bit too rich, so I didn't bother with that. So we didn't get any more kits from auctions this week, but yeah, I mean, it was a quite a big one for me to do, and I really want to have a look inside this kit and see what we were actually missing. Because we were looking for so many parts, and had I found this one 2 months earlier, 3 months earlier, we would have been able to make a bit of an easier build out of this. But again, we just used our imagination and what we had, and we turned out a nice model that for me it was like I say, a really important one. I've probably mentioned it before, but I left a very successful career in September. But I'd been in that job for eight years at the time, and I was like I say, very well respected. I was right up there on the chain of command, so to speak. And but over the last 3 years, that it just, with everything that went on, you spend a lot of your time in that period. Just I had to, a small group of us stayed behind, worked every day throughout that period just to save the business. And I'm very proud to say that we came out the end very, very successful, very successfully indeed. And but it just took its toll a little bit over them last few years. I stopped building, and I didn't want to start building again until I was in the right headspace. And in that time period as well, you weren't going out, so you'd spend a lot more time at home on an evening and after work. And I started watching YouTube, and I think HBI Guy was the first channel that I really noticed, to be quite fair. And he really started pushing some enthusiasm into me into someday getting back to building, just the way he does it. I mean, I know some people think that his kit, his builds aren't right up there, but when you think you're churning a kit out every couple of days, I don't think that's what that channel's about. It's showing you the processes. And pre-assemblies was a massive thing for me. I never thought of pre-assembling kits like Chris does over there. And being able to pretty much build a kit without painting it and then detail painting it after. I used to just fiddle about with tiny parts and try and paint them individually and then stick them on, and then it just wouldn't look a mess, but just take the fun out of it. So, and then you start getting exposed to all these other great channels who I've subscribed to over the years. But I think I just didn't want to start until I was I left in September. There was a lot of recovery from that, a lot of separation anxiety, which slowed me up on a few things. But one of my goals was to get a video out before the end of 2022, and we were right on Christmas Eve when we did that. So it was a really big step. Last model I was working on 3 or 4 years ago was this. I would call it a recreation of, I wouldn't say replica, but a recreation of Francis Cutler's 59 Chevy. Probably, in my opinion, one of the most beautiful looking customs ever done. It wasn't heavily modified, but the custom touches were just so perfect on it. I thought that I just thought it was a stunning looking car, and I wanted to recreate that. So we added the headlamp pods from the AMT 65 Impala, 65 Chevelle station wagon. We nosed and decked the front end, and got this pancake the hood and got all the edges nice and rounded out. And the side trim, the rear trim is actually another front trim. It's much shorter. So Mike, who kindly comments on a great deal of my videos, he'd given me another front trim so I could complete the build. And at the time, and we never quite got to clearing it. We just used the Tamiya, that beautiful rose colour they put out, a brilliant 50s and 60s colour. But we ended up peaking the body line, because this obviously on the kit goes all the way back, that recess. So we peaked the body line and got that looking, I'd say, as close as you can get it. We stacked two sets of tail lights on top of each other, just hollowed out the second set just so we could shove a tail light in there. But yeah, that was the last one I did. I started scribing the diamond stitching into the seats and what have you, and then things happened, and yeah, and that, like I say, that's just a bit of my story. You know, I think after we've done these group builds, we'll maybe get back onto that. I've always had it on the side of the bench. You know, it's never left the bench, that one. Just as a bit of a reminder of where I was at that time, and you know, the help I got in the community even at that time. You know, through the Facebook page. You know, but yeah, I mean, I'd like to say it was a big decision for me to do the YouTube thing, and I didn't want to. I nearly picked up a couple of models in the meantime, but in them years, but I wanted to be in a good headspace for both, and you know, I think by December I was starting to feel a bit of myself again. So yeah, apology. I'm going right off tangent here, and to be quite honest with you, I apologise for that. You guys just want to see what's in the box, and yeah, I mean, we looked at the box art in the restoration video. You know, it's nice box art all the way through. I think I mentioned in that last out of the video that, you know, I thought this artwork made it look a bit like an old wheelbase car on the front and the sides, and you know, these are all the bits which most of them we didn't have. We had a couple of pieces, obviously the roof and what have you. The tail light panel I really wanted but didn't have, and you know, we didn't have any hoods. And we had the grill but no roll pan, and yeah, most of this stuff we didn't have. We had the seats, like we used them. But yeah, we ended up building it. Bit of inspiration from this side of the box, but we just wanted to put our own little spin on it. Yeah, I think the roots of that one's still in this box here. Yeah, so we just wanted to put our spin on it and do our own little thing. And funnily enough, now I went to all that work of, you know, making it so you could just stick it on with magnets rather than hinging it or gluing it. You know, I actually prefer it without it now. I think the deck lid was probably a little bit off. I think it was too long on this model. It was just through comparing with the Revel one, which I will show you in the next clip, but you know, we yeah, I don't know if it is because this is a 2-door hardtop and the Revel kit's 2-door post, but I'm pretty sure this deck lid's probably too long for a Fairlane. But in all fairness, I prefer it that way just because it gives it more like a full-size Galaxy look, and it, you know, it's an endless trunk lid panel, this section, and rear scuttle panel. You know, it's just so long, it really does look great on this car. So yeah, I mean, we'll not close the video off. You know, we haven't even unboxed it, and again, I really do apologise for rambling on there, but I really don't want to cut the video again. We've already had to do this a second time because the cat jumped in front of the camera just to get into his really expensive spray booth bed. You know, they've got one of them fancy spray booths with all the lights, and he commandeered that as a bed years ago. He likes the lights in it, and so I'm stuck using my scratty little dusty old spray booth, which I have to get out separately to paint anything. But he's happy, and it keeps me happy, and he's quiet asleep in it now. So yeah, it's amazing what things you do for animals. But bloody hell, we're 40 minutes anyway. Quick one. Like I say, this is Thursday morning, so by the time you see this video, it'll probably be out sort of late weekend. This will probably be painted and pretty much finished. But yeah, just quick update. We did end up scratch building that front grille. Lined a bit of to make it look like the older Cortina, Mark 1 Cortina, the first of the series. So yeah, we just stuck a bit of bent a bit of styrene strip into that space and let it sit there. We didn't glue it, and then we glued the centre trim, which sits on top. It is raised on the real car, so it's, you know, that was what pinned the parts together. Then I could take out of the recess and then put the lower bit in. And we found an old AMT customising grill. It's the only grill I could find with sort of scale mesh behind there, and we just slotted that in. But yeah, that's coming on. You know, and the hood wasn't fitting right, so it wasn't too far off, but a millimetre or so, and it kept popping up. There was just something which was not making it sit right. It's a bit like when you're talking to your mates about going on a diet, and all the time you're holding in your gut while you're doing so, and then as soon as they go, you just all plops out again. So we ended up doing a lot of filing, sanding, and I don't actually know what it was holding it up, but all of a sudden it just clicked into place perfectly, so we can confidently do a two-tone now without, when you got the bonnet, the hood clamshell closed, it being off. So yeah, that's coming along. Like I say, probably by the time you're seeing this, it'll be at least nearly ready to put together. I mean, by Sunday, you know, we're only a couple of days off from the actual reveal, so I really need to get that finished. But yeah, as always, we'll get this laid out on the table, and have a look at inside of what was actually supposed to be in this kit. Again, really sorry about how long I've just gassed on there, but I'm not cutting again, so it's just going to be a 45-minute video, unfortunately, for a simple unboxing. So there we go. But we'll see you in a second. See you, bye. Right then, well, that's all the parts laid out on the table. First time I'm having a look at this kit. First time I've seen one, which is unbuilt, and especially in such good condition as this one is. And like I say, like the last clip, it's just a good opportunity for us to look through this kit and have a look at the parts I really wanted or needed at the time for the other restoration, and you know, just see it in its sort of virgin form, so to speak. But yeah, we'll start off with instructions. I won't go into it in detail. I'm pretty sure I went through the instructions in the restoration video, but pretty much your generic stages of building the engine, building the interior in a couple of different ways. Just your various hoods, how to mount the interior, the size more of your body, your stock version, so you're basically just putting your stock bumpers on it. Racing version, basically just putting your stock bumpers on it with some headlamp covers. The custom version, with that roof, nice rear panel, and the roll pan and what have you. Yeah, I mean, it was we'll have a look at all these pieces while they're on table. Not too sure whether this kit, I think some of these ones I bought, I think if they're missing anything, it'd possibly be the decal sheet. Not too sure if this one had a decal sheet in originally, but comes with this little advertisement for Autolite, the Lotus IndyCar and what have you, which ironically IMC produced at the same time. So AMT did, yeah, I think AMT did one as well. Put it in that sort of narrow flat box they did for that and the IndyCar and a few other kits of the era. I might, yeah. So glass on this one. Might as well start with the glass. Just have my hand by it. So yeah, a couple of light scratches here and there, but you can see they've altered because this kit was modified from the 63 tooling, 62 tooling. Yeah, you can see where they've been. They've modified the stampings on the glass, and yeah, I think you know, got the 6 there, but the 4 slightly raised up, and it's a bit all over the place really. But yeah, you can see that somebody's got the burring tool out in the tooling in 1960, late 63, 64 to get this one out for the new model year. But yeah, I made a bit of stuffing on the glass again, bit similar to that 62 Mercury, you know, nothing we can't sort out. The rear window glass, it was in much better shape than the one we ended up using, but if you, like I say, if you watch that other video, then you know we managed to get all that glue off the old glass, and to be honest, it looks better than this kit one at the moment. But yeah, I mean, it's in good shape. Nice to see one without glue all over it. Got 4 headlamps. I thought these were really, even on that old bill, I think these were on the custom grille. But you could almost use those as roof lamps, you know, they've got that much of a dome in them. So, but yeah, the ones we had on that other grille were completely filled up, level with glue, so we couldn't reuse them. These are the rear tail lights, so I really wanted for that last build, the rear tail lights and the tail light panel. You know, I thought that would have, but looking at these, you know, they look really dimpled and what have you, and now I've seen them, I'm quite, you know, I'm not going to change over one now, regardless whether I'd still prefer these or not. You know, I'm happy with what we did with that one, but yeah, that was the tail light panel we wanted for the other one. Still, I think they're similar to 61 Mercury. I can't remember what car these were. I think it was a 61 Mercury or something that used these tail lights as the standard piece, and I'm assuming that's where they got their idea from. Got the couple of stock tail lights for the stock rear bumper assembly. Engine wise, you know, that was the 427, which we didn't have for the other one. I think we ended up using a 63 Galaxy engine. But most of it's still on sprue. We've got all the parts there. I think yeah, that bit's just loose off the sprue there. But we've got the engine halves, fan, pulleys, firewall, headers, intake manifold and what have you for the custom version. But yeah, we've got just your standard wheel backs on here, your interior tub retainers. It's got your racing harness belt set up. Dashboard, yeah, that was we had a few issues with that other one. This one's obviously like new. But yeah, I mean, got the nice engraving on the top. Mine was quite considerably, well, I think it was just filled up with glue on that other one, to be quite fair. We managed to do something with that, but yeah, nice engraving on the dash. Yeah, we were lacking any HUD. In the other kit, I ended up modifying the Revel 64 Fairlane kit, but these are the ones which you're supposed to come with. You got your stock one. It's a pleasure to actually put a HUD on one of these and it fit, and not having to make something out of something else. But yeah, you got your nice clean lines on the stock version. Custom version with the built-in HUD scoop. Not too sure on that one, to be fair. I do think even if I had that in that restoration, I probably would have preferred the look we got with the with a more stock looking grille. But again, it's nice to have the options there, and certainly nice to have the parts. Standard seats. We didn't have these in the other kit I did. Yeah, but nice. It's quite pretty basic buckets which you'd see in 64. You know, it's not too much going on with them, but yeah, we did have the custom seats. Didn't like them at first, but we ended up painting them up, and they look really nice in the end. We did just blue inserts on them. Bit of a weird seat, kind of reminded me of a deck chair without any material on it. Yeah, like an old wooden deck chair, but like I say, they painted up nice and they look really good with the build. Steering wheel, again, really clean, no flash or anything like that. Very minimal clean up for that. You just got your batteries and other little bits and pieces down there. That original fastback roof, custom fastback roof. I mean, it just looks it looks so different just without glue on it and stuff to me. So that's what I mean. I'm mainly looking at this just to thinking back on what we'd done, and yeah, sod's law. 2 months later, we get something which we could have used and helped with that build. But like I say, we struggled on and found parts in the parts box. It's your front roll pan. Yeah, we found one of these in the parts box. We actually found 2 and used one of them for that other build. We got the racing headlamp covers, the headrest cushions, the headrest mount. The one's just down there. Rear roll pan, I'm assuming, that bit. Got your racing wheels, part of your that's your roll bar support and your roll bar, and one of the stock lap belts. Just got the other one down there. These obviously screw bottoms, so we've got 4 screws in it. 4 screws, 2 hood hinges for which I've never been able to make work properly at all. You know, but I've seen old builds, and it seems that kids that day were a lot better with putting these things on than I am, because I've seen them working and they work really well. But I always just worry with paint on them. I think it's the chipping of paint. I mean, I suppose you could fit them beforehand, but we've just got a couple of axles there. Yeah, you could fit them beforehand and before you paint, but they do close the panel really tightly. So yeah, it's just unless you know how to get them on really easily without risking your paint, I'm assuming you spread them out a little bit, then clamp them back in. Never tried it. Well, I have tried it, but it didn't work out. It didn't work out in a way that I was happy to paint it after. So yeah, interior tub. Yeah, just I mean, this kit's very clean. Like I say, very similar to some of the other ones I got, where they don't look like they've spent much life outside of the box and been well looked after. The lights and what have you were still in the bag, a bit of a loose bag, but they were still all there, and tyres were in a separate bag. Even though this was mid-size, you still got your compact tyres in these. Yeah, they do. For me, they look at just a tad small on this, but they're probably correct. For this and right size for it, but yeah, we used the slightly bigger Firestones on our rebuild, but yeah, they're nice tyres. Them compact tyres have a nice pattern around the outside, the upper outside edge. The white bands on them getting a tad yellow, but chassis, one we detailed up. Yeah, they do detail up into a relatively nice chassis with a bit of paint detail and what have you. You know, we didn't really go to town much on it. Yeah, I don't think we really added anything into that one underneath. We just got it all painted up and what have you. But yeah, it's looking nice. Is that one still? So I was just looking at some of the weathering underneath, seeing if I'm happy with that. But yeah, well, it's done now, so can't really do much else with it. Yeah, body wise, really clean body. The door lines are a little bit soft, like even on this one. You know, they're quite shallow, and yeah, you'd probably need to scribe them out before you paint them. But all the trims absolutely crisp as you could want. Yeah, the Fairlane script's just under there, being hidden by the shadows a little bit, but yeah, it's just nice scripts all around there. With clear scripts on the boot lid again. But yeah, I mean so the other reason why I think this body's probably a little bit off is because I've got the Revel one. This is just a builder body, but there's nothing similar. You can't swap parts between these kits at all. You could sort of see there how much longer the roof is on this one. I mean, we've got nose to nose up there, and that's the back of the roof down there. They're about the same length, give or take a couple of millimetre, but yeah, this one has the appearance of a much shorter roof, whereas yeah, this is quite a stocky looking roof. And in all fairness, like I say, I do prefer this body, even if it is incorrect. I mean, yeah, the sides are a lot more chunkier on this one. I've got a bit, I would say there's a good couple of mil on the height of the sides. And I mean, I've never actually, I think I've started one of these and then that got sold in when I sold off my collection. Never finished it. I think that was just a build. This one has just got in the last few months, just in an old lot of bodies and what have you to use for parts if we ever need a roof or we want to do something with this one. But yeah, it's yeah, they are very similar. Obviously, it's the same car. They're supposed to be the same car, but there is those differences in the roof length. And you know, this is a 2-door post, whereas this is the hardtop. Front looks pretty much the same. Obviously, this has got the teardrop hood on it, but yeah, I'd always go for the older AMT ones. I just prefer the look of them and what have you. Speaking of which, we haven't even looked at the chrome tree yet. Got the custom grille we used. This chrome is very dulled. I think it's beyond looking realistic dull. Unless your car's really old and your chrome's really dull on your car, like. But yeah, I mean, we had the grille in the other one. We didn't have that chrome spray, so we just ended up chrome foiling round the edge. You know, had I given it another month before I started that project, you know, it was probably would have done that grill in a bit of a different way. But you know, it was a big thing for me to get a video up by the end of last year. So we just worked with what we had. What we didn't have was all the stock front grille and front bumper. I mean, even the grille looks very different to the Revel kit. To be fair, I mean, it's almost looks like the headlamps are spaced a little bit further apart on this one, and does have a bit of a different look. Like I said, and maybe it 100% correct, but they were just changing the tooling every single year. So, like I say, this one ended up last seeing the tooling was last seen with the 65 model, and then that got then that 65 got turned into the is it the modified stocker, super stocker, modified stocker series, and yeah, the tooling got its wheel arches cut out for that. I think that's the story anyway. I think that's the history of the kit, and like I say, I should really look these things up in a bit more detail until I put my own thoughts across. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So we got the stock bumper on there. Custom wheels. We did find some of these in the parts box we could have used for that other project, but they just didn't have the look I wanted for in my head. So you got your nice stock wheel covers, axle stand, instrument cluster, rating instrument cluster, your 427 air cleaner. Some little bullets, spot lamps are 2 different sizes. I'm assuming they're horns or something like that. And you got your valve covers, and yeah, this is the one. This is the rear end we found in the parts box, and we just did a bit of a Tamiya clear red wash the full length down, and put some custom bullet tail lights in it from another kit to make use of what we had, and would it look better with that one on? I don't know, it's hard to say, but like I say, I'm more than happy with what we did on that one, and now we got this for another project. Hopefully I find another 64 we can use that on. Got your knockoffs, spinners for the wheels, gear stick. Some nice annual number plates on there. But yeah, I mean, and the rear bumper's looking pretty worn, to be quite fair. I mean, even this one's wearing off underneath. Yeah, it's looking a bit tired. Is that part, but yeah, like I say, we could re-chrome it now, take all these mould lines out and just re-chrome it with that Revel chrome spray. But yeah, I mean, again, it's just it's one I'll probably never ever sell. It'll probably stay in collection, and we'll hopefully build this one day, and still got a really rough 63 Fairlane to build up and restore and fix all these. It's a good thing I actually got that, because I did forget to take a mould off that pillar for this pillar like I was supposed to do before I started painting. That other thing completely slipped my mind. But yeah, we could maybe use some of these parts on this 63, but I'm thinking I think we'd probably just put that 62 Mercury video out, and I think some of them custom parts would probably be better suited to this body, just because they're very similar. Them styling parts will fit this one, and this is so rough it'll never be anything but a custom. It's like when I was doing that 70 satellite conversion. You're always running the risk of sanding out too much detail, and like this one, it looks like a jelly mold, because when I say jelly mold, there's just you're losing your detail there, and it's you get the overall look on it, but it's a little bit shaky, if you know what I mean. So but yeah, we could probably do something with that one as well, and work in a project. I don't think we'll build this one anytime soon on the channel, just for the fact that I've already done one. But maybe we'll do an anniversary build. You know, that was, like I say, it was an important video to me, was that one. The start of my YouTube direction in life, you know, as a bit of a something else to do. And but yeah, like I say, we got a nice build out of one of these, and you know, it's just nice to have a look through this one and sort of share it with you and everything that went with it down the way. And but yeah, I mean, like I say, I thought we'd just we'll go through some of them ones which we bought recently, just while I'm unpacking them. And but you know, I'm putting these ones before unboxings on stuff I've got in the collection, which I just haven't got round to doing. It's probably a bit because I've already packaged them up, and you know, I have to unbag everything I've already sorted out and stuff. So these are quite easy to do because nothing's been sorted in them. You know, I don't have to do a job twice, so to speak. So yeah, anyways, if you've enjoyed the video, obviously we'll have more of these unboxings coming out, and you know, we've still got the updates on the other projects to do. I think that's really taking over my time a little bit. You know, there were two very important group builds to me to get involved in. It does help that they pushed a few longer standing projects to the front of the queue. But I think once we got the small scale build and the USACC build done, you know, we're going to probably step back into doing my own sort of restorations and yeah, the other projects that I've had in mind for years. You know, I've got so many of them. We need to step back into that and get some of them done. And you know, like I say, the other two projects, you know, it's nice that those, yeah, the 70 satellite was one I wanted to do for a very long time, and the Cortina was another one. But what's great about it is it's, like I say, I think YouTube, you get yourself on here and you just want to join in, and like if you can get a few of them projects done, then you know, even better. So but yeah, we'll start looking at some other stuff after those are finished. And yeah, because I've got some interesting stuff in the collection which I've had for many years. You know, I do sell a lot of my stuff off, but builders I generally I keep hold of for much longer. I've probably had some of them for a good part of my life. You know, some of the ones which I held on to through selling my collection all them years ago, and then all the ones I've built up since. You know, it's got to a bit of a ridiculous level, so I have to start looking through them, seeing what we do with them. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed the video. Again, I'm going to shut my face because I've just bumble through my thoughts as always. Yeah, I think we'll probably have another video up in a few days or so. Like I say, it's all to do with when I can get them uploaded at going round to my partner's house and using her internet. So just saves me the aggro of doing it here while everything's still going on with that. So yeah, anyway, I'll shut my face once more and say see you later. See you in the next video. See you, bye.